Well, hello. It's time for the very first 2025 edition of Pens in Use. This is the show where I talk about the fountain pens and inks I've been using throughout the week. And there's something different about this video, so I will just see if you notice. If you notice, drop a comment down below. So let's dive into it. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, I've got a whole bunch of things I'm going to hit at the end. One of the big ones is, of course, what did you think of the music? What do you think of the live streamings? And what would be some topics you would like to see me pursue that aren't necessarily checking out a brand new pen every week? So let us know down in the comments. So let's take a look at some pens. Alright, so these are the pens that I've been using this week. I'm cheating a little bit because I just inked them up today. Today is Thursday as I film this, January 2nd, and of course you're seeing this on January 3rd, or if you're in a different time zone, a little later than that. But anyway, I inked them up today. I've been using this one all week. This is my Pilot Custom 823 and not the rest. Let's take a look at some pens. So from left to right, I have my Pelikan M1000, Kaweco Dia2, Geha Boy. Yes, that's what it's called. Pilot Custom 823, Rotring Renaissance, my Geha... Just a second, forgot what it's called, but I've got it written down here, so don't worry. Geha 708, Senator Concorde, and an Omas 360. As always, I will be doing my writing in this cognitive surplus theory notebook. The first pen I will be using is this Pelikan, M1000. This is a beautiful, beautiful pen. I was hoping you could read that, but it's not well lit enough. Nib is huge, which plays into the story. I'm going to tell you a little bit later that the ink you're going to see in this is one that I have successfully used up. There might be a little left, but this pen holds a lot of ink, and yeah, maybe I have enough to fill a pen with a small nib and a converter. Who knows? But anyway, this is the Pelikan M1000. The nib in it is a medium, and the ink in it is Pelikan Violet. 4001 Violet, as a matter of fact. And I think it's performing quite nicely in this pen. It's actually a little darker than I've seen it in some other pens, but overall I'm pretty happy with it in this pen. This is an ink also that's quite well behaved on lower quality paper. And the nib, you can have some fun with it. We keep wanting to turn here. My next pen is a Kaweco Dia2. So this is a modern pen. Now, it might be a modern pen. It's got a gold nib on it. I'm trying here. Gold nib on it. Looks a little small for the pen, is what I've always felt. But it performs just fine. Back at the time I bought this, I was concerned about Kaweco nibs. In fact, one of my frequent complaints back then is the broader they were, the less reliable they were. This is a good exception from that time. Now, I've heard they've gotten better, But this is a year when I am shopping from my own collection as much as possible, so I won't be trying out any new Kawecos this year. But that's okay. I've got plenty of pens that I need to repair, plenty of pens to compare, and some pens you haven't seen. This is one of those pens. You'll see several in my description that have 3 squirrels beside them. These are ones that I need to do a revisit to. My next pen is this Geha Boy. This is a student pen, which amazes me. Yeah, there we go. So you can see here, maybe. Autofocus, come on. There you go. Geha Boy. I'm not being funny. So this has just a steel nib. But as you're about to see, it's quite an impressive steel nib. And why have I not been writing with this pen? Don't know. That's fun. The ink in this is Lamy Turquoise. And ink that I am working on using up. Well, they all are. As I've said before, my goal is to reduce the size of my ink collection, and you know, I could do that by randomly hit and miss using different inks, and then, oh, when they're gone, they're gone. But I have pulled out a small subset of my inks, and those are my focus. And I'm much more likely to use them up. I got a little story on that note to go with my next pen. When I said I was trying something a little different with this week's video, you might notice a little bit of shadow here that I don't care for. Especially if I put my hand here, it really shows up. But anyway, this is my Pilot Custom 823. When you saw this in my live stream that I did for what was for me New Year's Eve, it was quite full of ink yet. So I've been using it up quite a bit this week. But one thing I was noticing, and it's not doing it now that it's empty, but down here, let's tip it up so you can see it. Down here around the piston, what I was having trouble with is that the pen, or the ink, would come down to about here, and then I'd have an air gap in between. And then, of course, the pen would quit writing. And if you know the whole story of this pen, I used to use Noodler's black in it long ago, and that was one reason I quit using Noodler's black. And part of why I have so many different black inks around the house. So, not acceptable at all. But, you know, the ink is almost gone. I have Omas black in it. What I'm going to do when I use up my Omas, or to use up the rest of my Omas black, instead of returning to my Lamy 2000, I have a variety of other pens that I would like to use that, you know, have snap caps and such. Like I have a Cross Bailey out right now, my Waterman Exception. Anyway, I've got a few pens with snap caps that I'm just going to use till we use... Oh, Cross Wanderlust is another one. Till I use up the last of my Omas black. And then we'll ink up the Lamy 2000. So that'll be a good incentive to me to use up this ink. Alright, my next pen is this interesting, you'll see here in a minute, Rotring Renaissance. This is called Rotring because it's got a red ring. All you Germans understand that. All of you who aren't German or don't speak German are going, what? Yeah, it's got 2 breather holes, which is an interesting feature. And it's a double broad. So Rotring Renaissance double broad. The ink in it is Herbin, Herbin. Bleu Myosotis. A blue I happen to like. That's going to go on my list of possible blues to replace far in the future. But then again, will it? Will I decide by then that I've got plenty of other blue inks that I've used that I also like? Like maybe I'll stick with Parker Quink Washable Blue. Who knows? I have so many blue inks, we may never know the answer to that question. Okay, snork this puppy up a little bit. My next pen is a Geha. See, another Geha. Now, this one was not originally going to even make an appearance. I had a Lamy 27E out, and when the ink started just pouring out of the breather hole, I said, nope. So I pulled this one out instead. But this is a Geha 708. I don't see a nib size on there. Or anywhere on the barrel or on the cap. So we're just going to go with Geha 708. No comment. And the ink in it is de Atramentis. Red Roses. It's a scented ink, so you probably can smell it. I think it is actually pretty successful in smelling like roses. I like the color on it. This is an ink I would consider buying again. For the moment, I have a lot of red ink, so, you know, this just happens to be the one I'm using up right now, but, you know, down the road, who knows? This next pen, I'm glad I reorganized my pens because I'd forgotten I owned it. It's a Senator Concorde. So we know it's a Senator. Let's get this right side up. Because, whoops, says so right here. Now, you might be saying, well, duh. The reason I bring that up, let's take a look at the nib. Yeah, does that say Reform? Yes, it does. So, somebody made a comment a while back about how Reform and Senator, and they listed a couple other brands, shared a lot. We may have to revisit that topic in a video. So this pen's a little dry on this paper. That's what I've been discovering as I've been writing with it today. But I do enjoy it on my legal paper, so hey, there we go. The ink in it is Krishna Ghat green. A very attractive green. One thing I discovered is my bottle is getting close enough to empty that I'm going to have to use that same ink miser I used with my Pelikan 4001 Violet. I'm not complaining. That's been a goal. Let's use up some ink. But it has been a very nice ink, green ink. So I will be a little sad to see it used up. And finally, related to a pen I have bought, you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to do a rodeo probably after I review the pen. This is an Omas 360. So you can probably guess which pen I have. So mine is I believe it's a medium nib. Right? Sure looks like a medium. Anyway, Omas 360. Mine has got Sailor Jentle, Apricot in it. Which is a very nice orange. An orange with a lot of shading in it. And I think it's being shown... Oh, well, not so much now. Oh, lovely. Was being shown off very nicely in this pen. So, usually this ink plays well with others. The pen is actually a cartridge converter pen, not a piston filler. I'll save that for the, when I do the rodeo, but if you really want to know what I mean, I do have a video I filmed of this pen quite a long time ago. So those are the pens and inks I've been filming this week. I did take into account what people were saying about it being dark last week, but I'm trying an experiment this week where I'm not using my normal equipment, so I may have to brighten this up in post-production. We'll find out. So those are the fountain pens and inks I've been using this week. First thing I want to start with is the music. So this is another freebie from YouTube, but it's... The music itself is performed by Kevin MacLeod, who does a lot of the freebie music for YouTube. But it's actually an older piece. It's called Gymnopedie #1. I don't remember who originally did it, so just a second. Okay, so it was composed by French composer Eric Satie, who I probably mispronounced that. I always learned it as... 3 Gymnopedies, but anyway, apparently it's one of the 3. And 2nd of April, 1898 is when it's from. So well out of copyright, and this particular performance is... Because nowadays we would copyright the performance rather than the sheet music, because the sheet music is safely out of copyright. Alright, let's go back to my topic. So I think it's kind of a sad piece, but I've always liked it, so... let me know what you think. I am actually going to be releasing a video with the 4 pieces I have done so far, just to remind everybody, so I'll probably ask you what you think. Probably I'll release that on Monday. It's got a little bit of me talking through the music situation, and then a short burst of each piece, and then a longer burst, or then the full piece of each one. And I'm driving actually in Custer National Forest. I don't think I got into South Dakota while filming it, but I could be wrong. But anyway, look forward to that at some point. Alright, so this past week I did 2 live streams. One was my usual time when I do a monthly live stream on Sunday at 1:30 my time, whatever it is your time. The other one I did at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Now, 8 p.m. my time. I was filming it. The idea was it would be like a New Year's thing, and way too early in the day. Or, sorry. New Year, the words are hard. So, I filmed it when I had my brain fully working, which apparently it's not working that great right now. But anyway, my brain was fully working. And I usually go to bed about 9:30, sometimes 10. Sometimes I stay up late reading, but that's another story. But anyway, I ended up lasting longer than 9 o'clock my time, so it was kind of fun. These were definitely random videos. I got into some pale inks, and some other fun during one of the videos. The other one, my camera was missing a part, so I didn't dare flip it down or else I was going to lose connection. So let me know what you think. I always dread doing a live stream, and I had a disaster in one of the live streams when I shattered a pen live on air. So feel free to go check that out. But, you know, I always dread them, but then once I do them, it's fun. You know, the responding to a typed chat with speaking is awkward, so I try to put the comments on my screen and everything. But yeah, it's been interesting, and you know, I always enjoy when a chat kind of takes off on its own, and when there's people actually conversing with each other. I think that's part of the fun of it, because, you know, if we're all live on screen, of course we can't do that. I've done those during the pandemic, especially. I did some live streaming with a few pen people, some of them located in the UK. So I have the ability with my live streaming software to invite guests. So, hey, feel free if you can think of a guest or you think you'd be a worthy guest, let me know. I'm sure we can work something out, but we could always do it pre-recorded if you so choose, too. Up to you. But anyway, let me know what you think, and I would like to try talking to different people on this. I've never done much with another YouTuber. I've done the occasional video with two of us. I did a few with Pierre Gustafson over the years. He's one I've actually met in person. I've done, I think, one video with Hemingway Jones. I've done, it was an interview. Was it Art Insanity? I will put links to all this down below. But anyway, I've done a few over the years, and not a lot. So, might be interesting. Something to try. And I'm trying to get away from the whole, here's the pen of the week. I'm going to keep doing that, of course, but I don't want it to be the only thing I'm doing. Of course, I am back to school, so that's for better or for worse. Not as I record this, or as you see it, unless you're watching it late. I have in-service. I have to go back on Friday, spend all day there. Then I'll have the weekend, and then school actually starts back on Monday. So we'll start back with a full week of school. So back to earning the money that funds all of this. Because YouTube definitely doesn't fund itself yet. It just funds a few fun pens or else a camera. So I've had a couple of ink victories. One I just had. The other one is getting close. The victory I just had was with the Pelikan 4001 Violet. Violet I like very much, by the way. I was very surprised when I couldn't get my Pelikan M1000 to fill from the bottle at all. And then when I filled it, I dumped it in an ink miser. And I was able to fill it in there. And there was not a whole lot of ink left. I mean, if I'd found a pen maybe with a really small nib, I think I could have gotten another fill. So maybe if I'd stuck my Lamy 2000 in there. Who knows? I've still got the ink. I haven't dumped it yet. But yeah, definitely last drops of that. So I'll be moving on to Atramentis Violet, I think. Yep. No, that's Red Roses. Yep, Atramentis Violet, which is a scented ink, so that'll be different. My Omas Black is running down. I was amazed. I wrote myself some notes here. How quickly I was using it up, writing on that legal paper. So I was kind of page after page on the legal paper, and boy, did that suck the ink out of that pen. So I may have to do some more of that just so I can use the stuff up. I actually found another ink. Our pen, that Senator Concorde, is a pretty dry pen. So I might have to start writing with that pen on that legal paper. Another pen I own that you didn't see tonight, but that's very dry, is my Parker Ellipse. So we may have a use for the legal paper after all. Yeah, I'm all about using up some ink. That is one of my goals, is to get my ink collection down to something reasonable. paper too, but both really. And then start thinking about, what do you really want? As several people have commented, how realistic is that in your lifetime? But we'll see. If I keep using this legal paper, it's coming. Alrighty. Battery is almost dead in the camera, so we'll wrap this puppy up. Some other vows coming. I'm going to be doing more shopping at home, just using the ink and the paper that is in the home. Expect more pen rodeos and comparisons. More videos on using the pens, and that's where I'm soliciting your help. I want ideas on videos on using pens. One I came up with, a little not timely, but close enough to timely. I want to talk about planners and journaling next week, specifically bullet journaling. So look forward to that. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and since the battery is almost dead, I want to thank you for watching. And if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And again, feel free to comment down below with some videos where we use the pens. And did you see what's different about the video this week? So let us know down in the comments. So, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.